Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, my moon men and moon woman? How's everyone doing? Nice to see you guys in the chat already, locked and loaded for a banger next hour of all things stock market. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day today. I told you, it's gonna be fireworks. Not sure which direction, but we were kind of sure what direction before 2 o'clock. But after 2 o'clock, it was basically anybody's game, and we saw whose game it was. The Bears took over. They took control. They pushed the markets to the downside. I had a pretty good day myself. I kind of was trading longs, shorts. I was all over the place. And I think I only had one loss ticker on the day today, which was AMD. So pretty good day overall for me. I mean, so many opportunities across the board. AMD felt a little bit trickier to trade today off the open. But later on, it gave you some opportunities if you were looking for it. I just didn't pull the trigger on those opportunities. My main tickers were basically QQQ, Microsoft, and some of the other fun stocks that moved around today. Obviously, we had FOMC. We'll do a quick preview of FOMC, but we got a different preview, a different way to preview FOMC over here. A little bit of a funny little video that I found that summarizes the FOMC. So we'll take a look at that video. We'll take a look at the watch list that we have prepared for tomorrow for stocks such as that are reporting after hours, or sorry, reporting pre-market tomorrow or after hours today. For example, Qualcomm was one of them. Qualcomm moving around a little bit with the after hour report. And we'll look at some of the other stocks that are reporting pre-market tomorrow. I'm trying to remember without cheating, and I'm failing at it, even though, oh yeah, Altria, RCL, Peloton, stocks like that are also on the watch list, along with stocks that already reported like Microsoft, AMD, Google. Tomorrow night we do have Apple, Meta, Facebook report. Sorry, Meta is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Meta reporting Thursday night. So that'll be a pretty important thing to see. You know, what way those help to move the market. We are already expecting a little bit of a bearish report on Apple, so that Apple being the number 2 component of the market. Microsoft, even with the good report, flushing to the downside. I guess that was just because the market was flushing. So it'll be a little bit of a question mark here to see if the market will have a nice move up tomorrow or not, especially in the after hour reports, if they make or break the market. So far though, we are screaming Mayday. That's why you see the title down in the description, right above the description, but right below the video, the title of the video, it's called Mayday, brace for impact, because we really don't know how tomorrow will set up. No expectations going into tomorrow, no bias going into tomorrow. Just going to wait for the market to kind of show me the moves, show me which way we want to play out. We have seen, you know, absolute reversal days of FOMCs. The first FOMC move is usually to the upside or to the downside, and the next day complete reversal of that move and right back to the high of last day. So we have seen those type of moves coming in, and that's why I don't want to have any expectations. I don't want to have biases for tomorrow when it comes to the overall market. I just want to react, you know, response to the stimulus that's being played out by the market, and that's the way we want to be for basically the overall QQQ, S&P 500, and IWM. We will look at a kind of a bigger picture. We'll look to see what levels are coming into play on the daily chart. But let's get started with what I had in store over here, which is a nice little summary of the FOMC. Had a good trade at start and later became dumb. Yeah, you didn't message me for the rest of the day, and I was like, what's going on over there? I hope he's good. I thought maybe you were busy with your photo shoots over there. You know, I know what type of photo shoots you're doing, little man. But no, I thought you were busy, so I didn't really message you and bother you either. But yeah, I'm sorry for that, Dieter. But we got it tomorrow. We got it tomorrow, brother. We slapped the markets tomorrow. You did have a pretty good week so far, though. You had a great week, so shout out to that. Let's go watch this quick 1-minute summary of the FOMC meeting, shall we?
Hello, you degens. You bears feeling good? Some blood in the market before the FOMC? But you forget what that stands for. Not Federal Reserve, Open Market Committee. No, sir. It stands for fear of my cock. There's
Fear
no
of
more
my
policy
cock.
firming. We are at full mast. Now it's time to
Full
deflate the shit
mast.
out of rates. But you bulls, you mouth breathers are not getting a cut this month. Maybe March. Gotta see if Waller gets his ducks in a row in Feb too. Also, Yellen is borrowing less money, so I am going to delay the taper like your dad delayed pulling out. Anyways, I am going to drain the ERRP. Like I drained my balls in your mom last night. Also, Mango Man taking credit for this market just like Sleepy Joe. You know, they're both lying, right? I am the CEO of SPY. I control the fates of your retirement accounts. I will fuck your puts. I will fuck your calls. My name is Jerome, and I am coming for your balls. God bless my money printer. Hello, you degenerates. You bears feeling
If that
good?
is not
Some
the
blood in the
greatest
market
summary of
before the
FOMC
But
today,
you forget what
I
that
don't know
stands
what
for.
is.
Not
Fuck your puts, fuck your calls. J Powell's got you by the balls. And that's exactly how it went down today, because if you look at the market, this is Qualcomm. Let's go to QQQ. If you look at the market, the bulls were happy that there were no, they're talking about rate cuts, but then right after they were like, no rate cuts till near future, till May, till March, and a big move to the downside. Lots of bullish talk and then lots of bearish talk. Lots of bullish move and lots of bearish move. So basically, yeah, fuck your puts, fuck your calls. JPow's got us all by the balls, and an absolute crazy move over here on the QQQ. It basically rejected, I guess, this pre-market high slash after hour little consolidation area, and then flushed right back down after popping up. Insane move, man. I mean, you can't even talk about it. I can show you my charts from today on QQQ, I guess, because I actually traded it. So where is my QQQ? What chart is this? That is the QQQ. Okay, so let me see. Full screen, view original. There you go. View original. And here is my QQQ chart. So before the 2 o'clock even happened, this is all 2 o'clock move. Before 2 o'clock even happens, I actually take a nice little short on QQQ. Nice little move to the downside on the break of low a day. It breaks low a day, pops right back up, and then gives me an entry after the pop. So I didn't really take the breakout of low a day. I waited for the pop after the breakout of low a day to see if rejection would show up. Rejection did, and I'm able to enjoy the move to the downside over here. Clear defined risk of where my stop is now. Previously, when I entered, the stop was above here, but after the stock was kind of rejecting this area, my stop was obviously somewhere above here. I could have added on this down move over here, missed out on that entry, was thinking about it. Overall, able to capture a beautiful move to the downside. Here comes the 2 o'clock moves. I am able to get some longs, then I chicken myself out of the long, and then I find the long at a way better spot, right into 419 instead of 419.50. So I find the long into a way better area later on. I add to the long at the break a high a day today, but then I'm seeing the stock or QQQ kind of not really show me what I want to see, so I take the profits. So basically whatever I got in here, I'm out, and then I'm waiting to manage this little piece, but I just chicken out of that last little piece because of my entry. I wanted that entry to be somewhere in this area near 421, but because my entry was like 421.50, which was the high a day, I don't really like my entry that much, so I just said, you know what, let me just take my quick little profits over here on this trade and walk away from it. So a quick little 50 cents per share on that position. Nice little padding. And then later on, when the stock kind of started curling back over here, it came back near 421 and started breaking back down below 421. Was looking for a short in this area with the risk right above over here. Didn't pull the trigger, but I ended up pulling the trigger on the break of low a day around 418, and I'm able to catch a nice move to the downside over here right into 417, and I'm quickly scalping out of the profits out of that one. So QQQ, my number one trade, absolutely could not make mistakes, I guess, even though I did make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, but FOMO'd over here, FOMO'd over here. The trade was supposed to be here for me, and if I didn't get the trade, I should have walked away, but I guess I made a new trade out of thin air, and this one was FOMOing the entry. That entry should have been somewhere lower. Overall, happy happy that it all worked out and the momentum was in our favor. We were in the trend, we were with the trend, not away from the trend. So usually when you are with the trend and not away from the trend, things do work out for you, even if you're making mistakes, even if you're making stupid mistakes like FOMOing and chasing entries. When you are with the trend, you could get paid sometimes for making mistakes, but try not to make that a habit. And because once that becomes a habit, you're just gonna burn a lot of money, right? Burn a lot of money. All right. Josh is in the chat too, saying BA might continue for an opportunity. We do have BA on the watch list, so we will talk about BA pretty soon. But starting off the watch list over here, let's show you guys the watch list. Starting off the watch list with stocks like Qualcomm, Wolf, and obviously you see right there BA number 3 stock. So we'll talk about all of this watch list. It's a pretty small watch list for today, I guess, but we just need the main stocks that will be moving around tomorrow. We don't need to look at all 2,000 stocks out there in the market. We just need to see the ones that will have the most RVOL, the ones will have an elevated volume, that will actually have a catalyst to trade off of. And the first one to start us off with will be QCOM, another chip maker, Samsung Snapdragon. If you guys have heard that before, that's basically a Qualcomm chip. If you don't know, Apple was actually Qualcomm's biggest customer. I almost called him a supplier, but Apple is Qualcomm's biggest customer. They actually extended the deal into 2027 to partner with Apple to supply them with, I believe, some component on the chip. I'd read about it. I already forgot, to be honest, but that's a good deal over there for Qualcomm. Overall, looks like Qualcomm's numbers were good. They did beat on EPS and revenue, and we did push up to the north side, but later on, a move right back down and then stuck inside today's range. This is a little bit of a pattern killer. You know, we popped up to the north side, but then dove right back down. Some of this could be just because of how weak the semiconductor sector is at the moment. I mean, I don't know if you could call it weak. I mean, look how strong AMD was today. AMD went through 170 all the way up into 172, basically, which was yesterday's close area. Nvidia probably was also pretty bullish on the day. Nvidia was down 1.9, almost 2%. I didn't really look at Nvidia all day. SMCI was hella strong, 3% up on the day today for SMCI, pretty much almost back to 550 over here, which was the area that it played on the earnings move. So SMCI may be helping out the market, but Qualcomm, which is in the semiconductors chip sector, is going to be a hot stock without a doubt. The numbers are good from what we see at a quick glance, but let's go take a look at what Benzinga is going to preview us on Qualcomm over here. So Qualcomm, as you guys can see right here, said company has extended license agreement with Apple through March 2027. So multi-year agreement coming in over there. Shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected. Well, you posted this article a little too early. Maybe this was posted at 420. The guy who posted it was obviously high at the same time too. That's the rule, right? If it's 420, you gotta blaze it. Financial results and issued guidance. So what is the guidance looking like is what I want to get into. Beat Q2 guidance and more. Earnings highlight revenue, beat EPS, beat Q2 guidance and more. So we want to see where is guidance. We are extremely pleased to report strong quarterly results with revenue and EPS exceeding the high end of our guidance. But what's the next guidance? Qualcomm is guiding second quarter revenue to be in the range of this and this. Revenue guidance ranges are between this to this and this and that, but we don't really see what the estimates are. Company guides between $2.20 to $2.40 for the second quarter. Looking ahead, we are building on this momentum with our leading Snapdragon platforms and technology differentiation in connectivity, computing, and on-device generative AI across handsets, automotive, PC, XR, and industrial Internet of Things. Is that where it ends? Okay, among Internet of Things. So Qualcomm, everything does look bullish overall, right? Everything does look bullish overall, but the move is not as bullish. The move is pretty much flat, I guess. The close was 148.51. After hours, we're closing at 148. So pretty much nullifying the overall move over here to the upside and the move that it came to the downside. Will be interesting to see how the stock plays out in pre-market. I would love for the stock to get above today's high in pre-market, show us a little bit high, buying maybe above yesterday's high, and then ability to even charge through this 154.50, 150 area and continue launching up to the north side. Let me get rid of the watch list for you guys here. There you go. This is what I'm trying to talk about. So would love to see the QCOM get above the the yesterday's high area, and then see how we do in the after hour high area off the open, and see if we can charge through that tomorrow. Like I said, I have no biases, no expectations from the QQQ, but if tomorrow is one of those days that we have seen many times, which is a complete reversal of the FOMC day, which means tomorrow should be a pretty bullish day if that happens. And if that happens, Qualcomm over here, which looks like has a pretty good earnings report, coming in with once again showing you the screen, handsets 16% year over year plus, automotive plus 31% year over year. They actually helped BMW with their voice systems. So that's up 31% year over year. Internet of Things is actually down 32% year over year. So maybe that number over there is hurting them a little bit. Not sure how important Internet of Things is for them. But handsets and automotive, which I think is bigger, is up year over year overall, and that should be pretty good. Not sure how big component Internet of Things is for Qualcomm. Maybe something to do research on our own time over there for that stock. But yeah, interested to see how the stock trades in yesterday's ranges. Can we get above it, or does it just reject it and then start trading below? Is the market weak? Is the market strong? All those components come into play also. Another stock that moved around today after hours with earnings report is Wolfspeed Technologies, another semiconductor stock. Positive earnings report. They did beat EPS, they did beat revenue, but a move to the downside sadly, and right into a level that we had from previous areas. Ooh, looks like the 52-week low. Right into, not really the 52-week low, but one of the previous 52-week low areas, right into that $31 area coming into play. And there's a good chance, in my opinion, if this earnings report is bearish, that we push into that support area into 27.35. So watching how we trade into this 31, 30, 80, I guess, what is that low? $30, $30 to $31. Let's say $30 to $31, $30 to $31. See if supports can show up in that area. And then under that, we got 27.35 to $27 to see what happens in the downside move for Wolf. I do believe that the earnings report looks bullish. If the market does have a strong move to the upside, we should see this $31 getting held up and some buying coming in, allowing the stock to punch back up to the north side and maybe look for some longs. Yesterday's ranges will be a little bit of a question. It will be interesting to see how the stock reacts with yesterday's ranges. It should do a little bit of its own independent move based on its earnings report, but it all depends on also, once again, the market. The market needs to decide if it wants to have a full reversal tomorrow or just kind of trap people with a little bit of a fake reversal and then pull the Uno double reversal and flush right back down. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I say not less than 48 hours ago on this very show, 2 days ago, I predicted a pullback, and today it happened. You're welcome, chat, says TH, flexing his crystal balls. Let's go, TH, I like it. Look at that, market pulling back right on FOMC day. Beautiful call out, TH. Hopefully you were able to smack some trades and make that beautiful dollars, baby. And hopefully chat was able to do that too. Let's go. TH with a beautiful call out. TH, thank you for the number 5 like. We only at number 5 and it's already 20 minutes in. Come on, guys, hit the like if you haven't already. I would love it if you guys could please hit the like and subscribe. Would be much appreciated. And for those of you who have already, mucho obrigado. All right, Wolf over here, we're looking for supports to the downside, and then for resistances, we have clear areas to the upside. Yesterday's Yesterday meaning today. Today's low, today's high, today's midpoint area. Then we got the whole week range over here. Then we got the whole wide range over here where the stock has previously found resistances in. So we can look for any levels up here to play with if the stock pushes up. We'll be interested to see how the stock trades in pre-market. At that point, I can move up my support levels of interest or my reflection level or my resistance levels of interest to the ups to wherever the stock is based on and pre-market. So Qualcomm and Wolf will be interested to see where they move. Now, Boeing. This one was, I mean, crazy. Everyone thought that, you know, the earnings report will be, I guess earnings report is basically past, right? They're showing you previous quarters reports and they're giving you guidance. Shout out to Boeing for beating previous quarters expectations, but they slashed the full year guidance. So isn't that bearish? Especially with the amount of flights that they had to ground and everything that's going on from the Alaskan flight and so on. I think that's a little bearish, right? So it's interesting to see how Boeing popped anyways to the upside. I guess that earnings report was a little bullish, or maybe shorts were just taking covers and taking profits, whatever it is. A nice little decent pop to the upside over here on BA today on the ER report. Now it'll be, come on, I didn't want to zoom in, but I guess I have to. Nice little pop on the earnings report over here on Boeing, but will be pretty interesting to see how the stock trades going into these upper areas, right into this 217 to 217.50. Possible opportunity to short this area on the daily chart. If you can pull back, you can see right here that little resistance that showed up into this position after the whole Alaskan hair fiasco has happened. So I'm looking for that resistance show up again after this earnings report hype takes it right back into that area. That also happens to be the 21 EMA and also the last earnings report anchored VWAP, not the current earnings report anchored VWAP, the last earnings report anchored VWAP. The current earnings report anchored VWAP is still right down over here. We reported like yesterday pre-market, so that one is just, it needs some time to be formed. But the previous earnings anchored VWAP right here around that area into where the 20 period EMA is, right into that pop too. So we'll be interested to see if that resistance could build back in on this position on BA Boeing. So let me just put some numbers down over here in my notes. 217 to 217.50. We'll be interested to see if that area can come into resistance. Today's low is 200 basically. It says 203.50, but if it goes to 200, I mean, if it goes to 203.25, 203.50, I think the stock could easily go back to 200 if the market's weak too. Boeing does have a decent ATR. It's almost $7.50 ATR. So we'll be interested to see if we are able to go down there. But if you calculate, you know, $7.50 from here, that's about where we closed today. That's about where we closed today. So that would be about today's ATR right there, or one day's ATR. So if the stock does go into that 217, 217.50 area and you're able to find a short, maybe don't expect more than what is that? Maybe don't expect more than 210, 209 or so on the trade for an intraday trade. For a swing trade, maybe there's a beautiful opportunity right back into the $200 area for Boeing. But we are day traders. We're intraday traders. We are not here to make predictions. We're here to look for interesting levels and see if any of our setups are able to be flexed on those interesting levels, allowing us to make that high probability win and cash out with a big R to R trade at the same time. We got a question in the chat here from Busters. Hey man, what do you think about BTFP and bank crisis? What the hell is BTFP? No clue what the hell BTFP is. Bank crisis, what do you think about SoFi, BTC miners, and the short future for the ones? No, it's not a stock. Okay. What is BTFP? Buy the fucking price? I don't know what BTFP is. I thought it was like BTFD, like buy the fucking dip or something. What do I think about SoFi? I mean, I owned SoFi. I don't know if I still do actually own SoFi. Maybe I do own SoFi. I don't know. I need to check my account. But what do I think about it? I mean, as a day trader, as an investor, maybe I should say that, or an ex-investor. Once again, I forget. The stock is absolutely boring. I mean, it pops up and then it just dies right back down. So as an investor, it's like anytime it pops, I'm just looking to cut my bag, cut my bag hold of a position on any pops. And that's how I look at this position now. It's just like I'm disinterested on the stock. I'm not really looking at the fundamentals. I'm not really looking at technicals. That's not my job. I'm not investing in this position. I'm just looking for a swing trade. I'm just looking for a day trade. So because of that reason, this is an absolute shit show. Just not interested in SoFi. For day trade though, there are some opportunities. Clear rejection and a beautiful move right back up. Maybe support can build back up. But then again, there's way better stocks to be interested in on a day-to-day basis. There's tech moving around every single day. Most of the tech is at all-time highs. I'd much rather go play on those battlefields than go battle with SoFi that's been stuck in how long of a range for how long now, right? Boring, not interested. Bank term funding program. Yeah, look, I don't know what the hell that is, man. I don't really keep track of all that. I'm just a monkey who smokes trees and punches keys. It's that simple. I keep my trading simple. I look at my technical patterns. I look at my levels, and then if that levels or patterns show up on the tape and a reason to execute, and just look to make some quick dollar, baby. Put it in my pocket and laugh to the bank with it. Bank term funding program. Would love to probably maybe look up on that one. Is a bank funding more money or something? BTC miners, Bitcoin miners like Mara, Riot. Coinbase is not really a Bitcoin miner, but BTC miners. So Bitcoin miners, what do I think about these? The reason why these stocks have gotten a lot of hype behind them before the whole ETF, Bitcoin ETF, is because these were the only stocks that were allowed for people, not allowed, but these were the only stocks out there on the market for people to kind of trade slash invest in. But now you have the Bitcoin ETF, such as, well, GBTC was there for a long time, but GBTC is now on a legitimate exchange instead of like a bullshit exchange that's called OTC. So GBTC on a legitimate exchange at this point. You also have BITO, you have iBit. So all these opportunities that are allowing people to, BIT is actually BlackRock multi-sector. What the hell is BIT? I don't even know what the fuck. Oh, multi-sector income trust. Oh, okay. iBit. You have a bunch of other stocks over here, or ETFs that you could invest in to kind of follow Bitcoin if you didn't want to directly buy Bitcoin. So I think that hype that Mara and Riot have had previously don't really have that hype, don't really have that appeal that they used to previously. But in terms of just purely Bitcoin miners, they will track Bitcoin, right? So it doesn't matter if they have the hype behind them or they don't have the hype behind them. As long as Bitcoin is moving, these should move along with them. You're seeing Coinbase do the same thing. Bitcoin reclaiming, BTC USD, Bitcoin reclaiming that 40,000 area and now holding that 40,000 area of support one more time is pretty bullish for these miners. However, I think people are moving more and more towards trading the ETFs when it comes to day trading cryptocurrency events or cryptocurrency moves. When Bitcoin takes over 40K, a lot of people in my office and a lot of traders that I actually talked to on Discord, they were all directly going to the ETFs instead of looking for trades on Mara or Riot. which makes sense, right? It's almost a one-to-one direct related trade on the ETFs. It should be a little bit on Mara and on Riot too, but it usually isn't. But whereas on the other side, when the spot market, when the main coin takes off, this one is a little bit delayed slash lagged, and it allows you to take advantage of those inefficiencies if you're able to recognize those opportunities to catch that area, especially if you're also patient and include some of your technical analysis, include some of the setups, include some of your playbooks on the cryptocurrency market. You're able to take advantage of all that, and it will always have volume. So whereas Mara, Riot, I think some days it might just need some it might need that earnings catalyst to bring in that extra volume. Right now though, it still has a good enough 75 million volume coming in, but you can see how the average volume is 96 million, and we're actually dropping below the average volume, so clearly showing you that the interest for these ones are going down, whereas these ones are going down too, but they're going to start tracking back and higher. There was actually a pretty interesting article that I saw today that I believe, which one was it? iBit? 13 million. How much did GBTC do? 13 million. Okay, maybe it was iBit. What did BITO do? Okay, maybe it was BITO. I forget which one it was. Either way, both of them, iBit and BITO, for the first time have done more volume than GBTC, indicating a little bit of a shift in now the traditional ETFs kind of getting a little bit more volume and a little bit more buying power, a little bit more love than the old one, which was GBTC, the Grayscale Trust, which originally traded on OTC. So that's my opinion on Mara, Riot, and Coinbase. Coinbase, however, not really a miner. It's just another exchange, right? Coinbase is basically a cryptocurrency exchange, and people should treat it as such. I don't know if they mine coins, however, for themselves. I mean, why not? But I wouldn't treat them as a cryptocurrency miner. Okay, coming back to our watch list over here. Boeing is what we were on, and I'm pretty sure we finished talking about Boeing. So looking for a nice short opportunity into 217 areas if we are able to get above today's high. But if we're not able to get above today's high, then looking for an opportunity to trade above near today's high. Look for some shorts over there in that position. Let's go to MA. Quickly, before we go to MA, Angry Buddha is asking us a question. Isn't Coinbase the custodian for BlackRock Bitcoin? Yeah, they facilitate it, but they're not really mining for them or anything. Or like, I guess, also there's an interesting question over here. I did see something about this, which was if Bitcoin moves, the move of Bitcoin is apparently like transferred over into these ETFs, like in the close or in the open. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how real that is. In my opinion, when Bitcoin moves, these move around because algos are already there that match it up, right? They match it up and they just go brr, 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 brr. But I guess the interesting part is the overnight sessions, right? When the overnight sessions are happening, you're not getting that same tiptoe copy action. That's where probably when the market opens in pre-market, you get that big dump off or the big buy off. There's probably a good arbitrage in that to take advantage off of. I'm sure the market probably gaps and takes a little bit of that advantage out, but I'm sure there's a good advantage to be taken right into that pre-market area to look for those dumps coming in on the Bitcoin ETFs and so on. Will be interesting. I need to do maybe a back test of that, see if there's any trading opportunities there. But talking about Coinbase, Coinbase basically, yeah, facilitates the transactions for all these ETFs, Bitcoin. I think they also do it for JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, basically all the banks, BlackRock and so on. So Coinbase should have an increase in trading volume, should have an increase in customers acquisition, maybe I should just say customer base, keep my life easy over there. So looking to see what happens on Coinbase in the long run for sure, but I would not treat Coinbase as a crypto miner. I honestly believe somewhere down the road Coinbase will just get like bought out and be included into the stock market, where all these cryptocurrencies are just exactly what they are. Like, you just pull up Bitcoin BTC like a ticker, and you're trading it through the Coinbase gateway, or you're trading it through the Bitfinex gateway, and so on. Like, for example, right now we have for those of you who are not like a prop firm trader, or not like a high level manager trader, you probably don't know that there's different gateways that an order routes through. Most of the gateways that are most popular ones are Arca, Bats. These are just different facilities, different brokers taking your orders and facilitating it for you to the live market. That's exactly what Coinbase is doing. I honestly believe somewhere down the road, maybe 10, 15, 20, 50 years down the road, they're just going to buy out Coinbase. And they being like, maybe Bats is, maybe Nomura is, maybe Instanet is, maybe QQQ, who owns QQQ? Invesco. Maybe Invesco will buy out Coinbase, and they will turn that into a gateway. They will turn other companies, or they will force other companies to become a gateway. And then when you are trading cryptocurrencies, you're basically going to trade it through coin, through BTC, through this, through that, and so on. So I think it will very easily become forced to become a central exchange. Exactly. I think it will very easily go down that path for Coinbase. You're giving a good reason for a long-term hold here. I mean, I believe in cryptocurrencies. If you believe in cryptocurrencies, you should 100% get into Coinbase. It's great to see you again, Pratt. It's Prad, but it's fine. I don't really care. You can look at the fundamentals of BTFP. It seems that the bank crisis is coming soon. Again? Another banking crisis? Stop it. But of course, it's for day trading. It's not we are seeing exactly. Yeah, I'll look into it. It does matter, because if the banking crisis comes, then that should give you some big day trading opportunities. So it does matter. But I just haven't heard about anything like that from my managers, or the people that, or the group of circles that I hang out with. So I'll look into it. Thank you, Buster. Just to have context for the near future. Yeah, exactly. Aliens, his eyes are gonna cross suit. Talking about all these bitcoins. Crypto talk melting his brain and mine, says Josh. I apologize, Josh. Don't worry, they'll make more money. Banks are fine, I promise. Yeah, banks are always fine. Let's be real. You look like Jason Kels for a second. Sexiest man on earth? Let's go. The sexiest man on earth. I'm pretty sure he got that award, did he not? No way. What? What? That's funny. How a spelling mistake gave me Buzz Aldrin, who's the second man on space, or second man on moon. Ah. Yeah, see? People's sexiest men for 2023 alongside Timothy Chalamet. He lost to Timothy Chalamet, or he won against Timothy Chalamet. That's crazy. Jamie Foxx, Usher. I get Jamie Foxx. I get Usher. You know, they're good looking men. Don't get me wrong, but they're not better looking than Timothy Chalamet. Hold a minute. I'm not homosexual. Why am I rating men? I don't give a fuck. Move on, guys. No, coming back to that point though, Timothy Chalamet is, I mean, unbelievably handsome guy over there. Don't get me wrong, Jason Kels, that beard is strong. I love that beard. I wish I could grow a beard like that. I can't. Sadly, my beard only grows down over here, and never really over here. My cheeks area just stay scruffy, sadly. But hey, if you say I look like him, let's go. Hopefully, it's not because I'm fat. That's sad if you said that because I look like I'm fat. All right. Anyways, come back to the market because we still have some bunch of stocks over here to talk about. The next one is MasterCard. MasterCard earnings report, taking it into a new all-time high, not doing what Visa did. Oh, that's not Visa. Visa is just V. Not doing what Visa did. Visa actually kind of just traded around this area after the earnings report and then broke out later. MasterCard actually just broke out completely and marched to the upside, and then later on when the market broke down, sadly pulled right back down and then survived in the middle later on eventually. So MasterCard, pretty good to see that bounce right off of yesterday's high. Would have been able to, no way, I would have loved to catch that long. I actually caught a beautiful long like that today on Starbucks. Let me see if I can pull that trade up for you guys. Where's Starbucks? Right there. View original. So look at Starbucks right into that $95 area. You might be wondering, why 95, Prad? And right there off the open, it was right into yesterday's high. So stock plummets off the open after popping up into the pre-market or after hour yesterday, pre-market today, and off the open just plummets, and then gives me a nice opportunity to get long there, pulls back into today's VWAP and basically sells off from today's VWAP. In that moment, I got a little greedy. I didn't take any profits on the move over there. I ended up closing my trade once it gets back under 96 right over here, a little bit under 96. I think I closed it at 96.50. I was being a little greedy on that exit, but hey, no complaints. Nice little move to the upside, made $1 per share. Could have made more than $1 per share when the stock was at $96 or so, and catching that move, catching that bounce, initial bounce off of yesterday's high. And looks like MasterCard did that exact same thing. You could have called this the Bella scalp trade right there if you just threw in that line, waited for the stock to maybe break that trend line, or even waited patiently near yesterday's high, and you can see how right into yesterday's high some buying starts coming in, and then once we break that trend line, the stock starts to make a little bit of a consolidation over here, and then after making that consolidation it breaks down but then pops right back up. It kind of traps the stops over here. Everyone who had a stop over here gets screwed over, and anyone who had to stop all the way at the lower day after entering over here, they are completely fine and they end up holding the trade to the upside. Basically, some of the noobs would have a stop here and the real traders would have a stop down over here, and that allows you to not only increase the probability of the win for you, but that will also allow you to hold the trade for a little bit longer because your risk to reward numbers change, right? If you are entering somewhere over here and only risking right there, that's about $1 risk for you. So you might be getting out at a $2 move, which is right over here. So you would be getting right out and somewhere into this $2 move. Look how much more you miss out. You miss out on another $2 move for yourself. But if you were to give it a proper risk to or low a day, which was a $2 risk, your 2R does end up giving you a $4 reward at the end of the day. And you know, increasing the probability sometimes means having to give the stock a little bit more risk, which means sometimes you have to take less size, but that's how you try to catch those beautiful reversals overall. So catching a nice move on MasterCard, missed out on it. Let's see if we get a day 2 move on MasterCard to the upside. A pullback right into this area again, which was yesterday's high, today's low. Show me support again in that area, we could possibly look for a move into 450 and then higher than 450. So let's get that pullback on MasterCard. Let me put that in my notes over here. Looking for a pullback into 446.50s to be respected. And if the stock is already above 446.50, let's say it's already above 450 tomorrow in pre-market, the markets are gapped up, then we might just have to kind of move our numbers to 450 instead and watch how the stock trades into 450 and above 450 and so on. Next stock, GM. This one didn't really do much on day 1, but Oh, damn, it actually did pretty good on day two. We broke out, we held, we pushed up to the north side, we pulled back. Yeah, not a bad move on day two at all. So congratulations to anyone who actually took my advice on this one yesterday to watch for the stock around this high area. We broke out, we pulled back, we showed support right into that 38.50 and then a monster move to the upside. Missed out on GM. My eyes were too focused on AMDs and Microsofts. That's why I missed out on MasterCard too, sadly. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you miss out on the good trades, and we just have to move on from it. GM, however, looking for some sort of a day three setup. So any day three setups coming in, maybe some sort of an anchor VWAP day three setup, maybe some sort of a pullback into today's low, showing me support into today's low, which is right around earnings day close, would be great. But getting under earnings day anchor VWAP will be a little bit bearish in my opinion. Once again, that's that 38.50 area, which the stock after breaking out to the north side came back and held, and that's where the earnings anchored VWAP is too. So would love to see that 38.50 area to show me buying again on this stock. But if we are under 38.50, then I would like to see if 38 gets respected. But if we're under 38, then it's almost like no trade on GM to the longs at all. The longs are basically dead at that point on the stock. You could wait near 37.50, but that's like, come on, what are we doing at this point? You're just waiting at every 50 cents to kind of force a trade. In my opinion, if we're under 38.50, the longs are dead, but you can kind of wait near today's low to see if that gets respected. Okay, as for the resistance, right into whatever that area is, 39. 39 is my first area of resistance. And what is today's high? 40 will be my second area of resistance. Now, let's go to UPS. I believe I had a trade on UPS today. Let me see if I can find that one. I see it right away. View original. This is my UPS trade. I let the stock trade around off the open, do its shenanigans, go wild off the open, do whatever the hell you want to do. And then later on, it pulls back to the downside. If you actually look at UPS on the daily chart, this is yesterday's low. Not daily chart, sorry, on the 5-minute chart, this is yesterday's low. The stock gets above yesterday's low off the open, flushes down. Then after flushing down, these are just two lines that I drew out for myself to kind of see if that was a viable Bella scalp, even though there was no real bump in volume and the stock is not really dislocated from VWAP. There were possible Bella scalps here, but that's the not real trend line. I'm just gonna delete them so we don't get confused by that moving forward. But the overall idea was we got yesterday's low. The stock rejects yesterday's low off the open, flushes, then pops above yesterday's low again, but then flushes right back below yesterday's low, and now starts to trade around today's VWAP. This is around 10 o'clock, 10:30, 10:40 or so. Now it starts to trade around today's VWAP, and every time we pop into today's VWAP or the 21 EMA, we are constantly seeing selling. Also right in front of a beautiful even dollar price of that 144 area. So seeing all that taking place on UPS on the time of sales, I'm able to get into shorts, take some out because it looked like the stock was just getting boring and not really wanting to do anything for the rest of the day. It could have easily just ranged sideways. So taking some size out over there, and then the mistake was not taking that size back when the stock started making a lower high after making a lower low. It breaks down, pops up, makes a lower high, and then breaks down again for the real move. It pops back again, makes a lower high again, right back into that row or right back into that area, and then makes a bigger move that I'm not able to pull the trigger on. I kind of chicken out on that one. So UPS, beautiful trade at the end of the day, but not able to catch the move that I really wanted. But maybe tomorrow can give us a day 3 setup over here. The reason why I call it day 3 setup is because earnings was Tuesday. Today, the day 2 trade, day 3 continuation to the downside. The fact that the market was weak really helped me to kind of look for a trade on UPS, especially because AMD was very choppy and Microsoft was a little choppy too off the open. So it helped me look for some trades on UPS overall, and I'll be interested to see if UPS can help us look for a day 3 trade. You looked at Para lately, possible continuation off the news catalyst. Yes, I looked at Paramount, but it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor, nothing's confirmed. I'm not really interested in merger and acquisition trades until they're confirmed. I do trade buyouts, But until those are confirmed, anything could happen. You are basically fighting the news, which is never a good thing to do. Fighting the news is never a good thing to do. You want to be a lot more careful. A website that I use for mergers and acquisitions, that's not the one. Alpha Rank. You can use this website to kind of read more about companies that are getting bought out. For example, what's a company that recently got announced that it's getting bought out? Okay, let's go to Save. JetBlue and Spirit Airlines. You can read every single detail, every time the deal fell apart, every time the deal was renegotiated, every time the price went up, every time the price went down, and so on. As you guys can see right there, January 26, 2024, the term is there is no bias for JetBlue terminating. Oh, did they already terminate? Yeah. May terminate deal on or nearby, but there is no bias for it. But they're updating you, right? So I use this website, and for Para, I think there's nothing there yet for them because that one was kind of announced today. Maybe there'll be something in here soon about it, but until a deal is really confirmed, I kind of don't want to really get trapped in that position. But there could be continuations on it. Good luck on that one for those of you interested. Do some trading live at least a couple of hours. Nah, it's not worth my time doing that, man. It's not worth my time doing that. Plus, I'm no longer in an area or in a work environment when I can do that. So it's not worth it. I need cheaper stocks. I'm from Latin. The income is less. You can do fractional shares. Maybe see if your broker does fractional shares, right? Check that one out. But UPS looking for a continuation trade. Today's low 141.90, but I'm gonna look at that 140 area as support, as a possible significant area. Let me quickly turn off extended market hours and turn only regular trading hours. Yeah, we're in this range at the moment. That range low right near 140. Will be interesting to see how the stock trades into 140. Possible dip into 140 and then pop after that, allowing us to get long, especially if the market is bullish and whatnot. Pre-market also is a pretty good sign to see what the stock can do. Today's high was 145.50, but I'll be looking all the way from 145 to 145.50 to see if there'll be some trades for us on this stock tomorrow. Let's turn back on extended trading hours and move on to Starbucks. Starbucks was, as we just mentioned, a beautiful long to begin with, but what a destruction move right back down. So that earnings report did end up hurting that position. We moved right back into this day's lows over here, where we started finding some good buying and consolidation to the or a channel move right back to the upside. That is also a possible right there, maybe. I don't know. Overall, though, beautiful move to the downside and a little bit of a corrective move to exactly yesterday's high area on Starbucks. Based on how the stock moved today, maybe there's a little bit more selling, especially if we start rejecting this 95 area one more time, right into this 94.50, 95. That is going to be a very important area tomorrow. If the stock is able to get above 95, then there is chances we go back into 98. The ATR of the stock is only $1.73, so expecting 95 to 98, 95 to 99 will be maybe a little crazy, but there are chances we move a little bit back up to the north side if the stock is above 95 and showing buying above 95. But in my opinion, based on how we traded today, how the earnings report is, there was a lot of bullish things on the earnings report, but the numbers were bearish. So based on the move, based on the ER, I'm expecting 95 to show rejection. So any pops from today's low into 95 we'll be looking for some shorts to begin with, and if the stock gets above 95, then possibly could look for longs, but that's already like one ATR move from today's close, right? It's already one ATR from today's close, so it will be weird to see the stock even have the ability to get above that 95 area, in my opinion. 93 was today's low, so we'll put supports at 93, and then the next one right below 93 will be somewhere into that 90 area, which was the after hour low on the the earnings report. It was $90.50, but I'm just gonna say $90. Actually, I'll put 90.50 to 90 just to be safe. Next stock, Microsoft. So obviously these stocks over here, the next few stocks that I have, Microsoft, Google, AMD, I think very likely will have an inside day, especially if the market has that reversal, right? These stocks could have a reversal within them. 140 on Google actually ended up holding in the after hours slightly. We went into 139.87, but we are back above 140. So that 140 area on Google still pretty important tomorrow. Let's keep an eye out on that. Microsoft 400, below 400 is that 396. I don't even have to pull it up. I just remember from yesterday. So right there, 396, and you can see how that's basically where we kind of closed into pre-market slash after hour move, exactly the low from the earnings after hour move from yesterday. So 396 area below 400 is pretty important to see how the stock trades in that area. And if we quickly zoom out on the daily chart, yikes, yeah, I don't think we're going that far. We'll see how the stock trades between 396 and 400 tomorrow on Microsoft. And for Google, we're waiting to see what happens into 140. For AMD, I was surprised to see AMD above 170, but we still found some rejection right from yesterday's close. The earnings report was a little bit bearish, so we'll still watch that 170 area. I think 170 is still the resistance because of the fact that we closed below 170, but today's high 171.30, so you're basically watching all the way from 170 to 171.30 in my opinion to see how the stock trades. So let's just put all that areas into our maps over here, into our Google Maps, not really Google Maps, into our watch list so that we are ready for when those levels appear. Josh saying, gotta go, talk to you later. Take care, Josh. Thank you for coming by. Hope you enjoyed what you saw so far. I will see you. Is today Thursday? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the final stream of the week at 8 o'clock, brother. Take care. Adios. Okay, next stock, AMD. We were just talking about this one. So AMD supports somewhere into this 165. You can see how the pre-market, oh, that's 160. I thought that would be 165. No, that's 160. I guess we're just putting 160 in the report then. AMD's ATR is $7.5, 7.13. AMD's ATR has actually been going up and up for the past week. So you know, it was actually 6 or 5 something, then it went to 6 something, and now it's 7.13. So there's a good chance that AMD could bring in a little bit of extra volume. The fact that today's move got nullified quite a bit, the selling got nullified and a lot of buying still came into AMD, is pretty damn bullish in my opinion. People are looking to buy up the stock on any sort of a dip. And another stock that's in the same boat as AMD in that realm is SMCI. SMCI yesterday sold off quite decently right into the previous day high, but today SMCI with a monster move right back to the north side. It looks like SMCI wants to go test that 550 area. This is obviously a pretty high price stock. I think most of you will not even care about what this stock is doing, so I won't even bother talking about this one. So let's go into the stocks that are announcing earnings tomorrow. These are my trades. We already talked about that. Let's go into stocks that are announcing earnings tomorrow pre-market. MO, RCL, Peloton. Thankfully for you, I've done the homework, so you don't have to. Stock MO, they are going to have their conference call around 9 a.m. RCL, 10 a.m. Peloton 8:30, and Honeywell also at 8:30. These are the 4 stocks that I'm basically interested in for the pre-market earnings report. Altria, they make smokes, I guess. I think that's what they make. Yeah, tobacco. There you go. They make cigarettes. They make smokes. They have decent amount of volume in them. Usually on earnings day, they bring in big ranges, so I'm excited to see what the stock can do for us, and they also bring in good amount of volume on earnings day too. Can we break out of this little bit of a box that we're in at the moment in the stock and kind of move into the next box zone, at which point we can make some trading decisions? So we'll be interested to see how that earnings report plays out tomorrow in pre-market. Are we going into $42, or are we dropping down to $39? That's the question over there for MO. Next stop is RCL. RCL, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, almost into its all-time highs over here. So without a doubt, on a positive earnings report, I think we're playing with all-time highs on RCL. CCL, on the other hand, not really exactly doing what RCL is doing. Nowhere near its all-time highs, right? But RCL on an absolute monster recovery from where it was. $19 at 2022 to $135 and an all-time high in 2024. So almost in about 2 years, less than 2 years, we're about to go test all-time highs. All that depends is to see what happens with tomorrow's earnings report pre-market and tomorrow's conference call at 10 a.m. Right now, 52-week high coming in around 131 and the all-time high coming in at 135. So let's watch out for RCL if it does have a good earnings report. If it has a bad earnings report, then we have a lot of moves and levels to the downside that we can kind of map. We'll just wait for pre-market to show what areas to be interested in. Peloton, basically the same type of setup over here like MO, stuck in a little bit of a box over here for the week. I guess people are just waiting for the report to come out before actually making a move, before pulling the trigger. So Peloton recently also announced a partnership with TikTok, and that kind of brought in a little bit of a move, if I remember correctly. I forget when. I think this was the day that they brought in the move, but then flushed right back down. So Peloton could be a little bit of an interest tomorrow to see what happens on the earnings report, pre-market earnings report. But the conference call is at 8:30, which is much better than having a conference call at 10 o'clock like RCL did, or Boeing at 10 o'clock today did. Last but not least of these baskets of stocks, Honeywell moved quite drastically today, and a lot of volume even before the earnings report came out. So Honeywell moved around pretty big. I guess it just kind of reverted yesterday's move. Yesterday's move was crazy, and we just reverted all of yesterday's move before the earnings report. Now the question is, what happens after the earnings report? Do we revert the reverted move? Do we reverse the first reverse and go right back up? Basically saying that another inside day very much possible, looking for a move between 202 and 207. It looks like we kind of have a very defined range on this stock tomorrow, which means you will have opportunities to play the longs and the shorts between those ranges if those ranges are respected and there are buyers and sellers showing up within those ranges for us to play with. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote for our watch list today. The last three things that we do have on the watch list, however, are the big three markets, the QQQ, the S&P 500, and the IWM, which all three today were down bad, down drastically. I mean, IWM down the worst, 2.4%, S&P 500 down 1.63, QQQ down 1.96. So all of them, obviously, Mayday, brace for impact, we're crashing at the moment, pulling right back into previous interesting levels where the stocks or where the market has played with. This right here, the blue line that you're seeing on the chart was the previous FOMC, the last year FOMC anchored VWAP, and the yellow line is anchored VWAP from the starting of the month till now. So basically the anchored VWAP for January. So waiting to see what happens into those areas. January was a pretty bullish month if you ask me. Great start to the year. You basically want to see the buyers who've been buying all of January to show up again into that 412, 413 area. And if they're not there, that means they're scared and they're probably closing a lot of their stocks or their trades for profits, hence bringing the market to the downside. FOMC's putting a little bit of a scare in the market. Papa Powell obviously is fucking people over here with his speeches every single minute. So be careful. I just want to reiterate, guys, that I have no bias going into tomorrow. I have no clue if the market's going to be bullish, bearish, flat, if there's going to be volume or not. There could be two scenarios in my mind that I'm thinking. Market does absolutely nothing, and waits for Apple, Meta, and who else reports? Amazon to report. Those are big names over there, right? They're part of the Magnificent Seven. Is Meta part of the Magnificent Seven? Apple, Microsoft, Google. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, Netflix? Damn it. Wow, how did they know I was gonna ask that? Google's always listening. Google's always listening. Dub the Mag 7. Yeah, right there. Microsoft, Google, Apple. I got it right. Damn. Damn, son. There you go. So, obviously, where was I trying to get to? What was I trying to say? My brain just farted. My brain just fried. Oh yeah, I was saying, the market could easily do nothing and wait for these big three names of the Magnificent Seven to report before actually starting to make a move, which means you have to wait for the after hours. Or the other big scenario that I'm really hoping for is the market just has either a crazy reversal. We have a big bullish day, but we bounce off of today's low, allowing us to look for the longs off of today's lows, and we move right back into today's high, allowing us to look for shorts off of today's high, and we are able to range trade the shit out of the market and a bunch of stocks. There are going to be so many opportunities, and I would love that opportunity. Another opportunity that I would love is a breakdown off today's low and a flush into that 413 area. The market's currently at 417. You can see how we closed at basically 417 on the QQQ. QQQ's ATR is basically $5. So $5 from 417 to the downside. I would love for that opportunity to play with also. So let's look for a breakout from today's low right into this 416.79, 417 area. A breakdown below that will be great, and a hold off that will also be great, but don't let that hold be like a boring hold where we just kind of trade like a half an ATR or like a boring ass move. Let's have some fun with the market tomorrow. That's the hope, at least. What to expect tomorrow? Yeah, basically those are the two things I'm expecting from the market. But guys, girls, boys, ladies, gentlemen, the other sexes too out there, don't have a bias. Do not have a bias tomorrow. It'll be probably for the best. Just react to how the market's moving. Having biases to some of the stocks that we wrote notes out for makes sense. They're catalyst based stocks. They might do a little bit of an independent move. For example, Boeing today, very independent move, but having a bias for the overall market tomorrow might screw you out of some trades and stop you from looking for other opportunities that are great out there. So hopefully you guys are able to smash the opportunities tomorrow, add that extra dollar to your pocket, ladies and gentlemen, and make that money. Let's go take a look at real quick at the economic calendar. The economic calendar tomorrow does look a little busy. We do have the 8:30 numbers coming out, initial jobless claims at 8:30. We also got the unit labor cost. What the hell is that? Quarter by quarter unit labor costs coming in at 8:30. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI coming out at 9:45. ISM coming out at 10 o'clock. ISM PMI also coming out at 10 o'clock. That's ISM Manufacturing. ISM PMI coming out at 10 o'clock. We got a couple bills, but these bills are lower time frame, not that important. And at 4:30 after the market closes, that's not as important for us because we don't care about after the market. But the Fed's balance sheets also comes out at 4:30 tomorrow after hours. So a little bit of a busy economic calendar on the Thursday. Will be interesting to see if any of these numbers allow us to make or break the market tomorrow, if we have that reversal that we're looking for, or if we have that extension to the downside that we're also looking for. Only time will tell, and those time periods are, once again, 8:30, 9:45, and 10 a.m. February 1st. That's right, we're in February, ladies and gentlemen. Is this a leap year? It is a leap year, which means February will have an extra day tacked on to the end. So there you go. We are in the leap year For all those people who were born on a leap year, you are now, I guess it really depends on what year you were born in, but you're now 1 year older, but you should have technically been 4 years older. Anyways, that joke was horrible. Horrible joke. I'll move on. Horrible joke, garbage joke. Let's move on. Let's call it basically an end on that horrible ass joke. I got nothing else to talk about for today. I am embarrassing myself at this point. Let's go to the full cam. Call it a night. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you found some educational, informative content from this show. If you did, please help me out by hitting that like and subscribe. It helps me out, especially if you leave offline comments in the chat. So please go leave some offline comments if you have a second or two. Hit that like and subscribe if you think I deserve it. All my links below for my social media are right down below in the description. Discord and Twitter are where I'm the most active on in terms of trading, but you can also catch me on Instagram, TikTok, and all the other fun stuff. Patreon, if you want to subscribe to my watch list, I send out my watch list first things pre-market. You can subscribe to my watch list by supporting me on Patreon. There's other perks out there on my Patreon package too. If you wanna subscribe to that, you can also subscribe to me on YouTube by becoming a member. Go check it out if you want to hit that member button by clicking on the join button beside the subscribe button. I would appreciate that too. But last but not least, the only thing I really want you guys to do is go have a great night. Go hug your loved ones, your significant other, whoever that is. Go give them a good night. And let's have a monster day tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming by as always. Thank you for the love and support. I will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, for the last stream of the week. Ciao. Wait, why did this start here? Restart.
Not like other carbon-based life forms. You put the value of all life above your own.
It's how things should be. It's how they could be.
I could not agree more. The world can be one together, cosmos without hatred, stars like diamonds in your eyes. The ground can be space, 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 with feet marching towards a peaceful sky. All the moon men want things their way, but we make sure they see the sun. Goodbye, moon man. You say goodbye.